In this video, we're going to talk about report formatting. And what I mean by the report format, it's actually what is visible um, cosmetically when you go to print your report or print it to a PDF. And you can see on this sample report that I have up here, I've got a light green line and a white line. So every other line is alternating. So your formatting is getting into your color schemes, your fonts. You also have your page set up. So what size sheet do you want to print to? Adding um, headers and footers to your reports. So to actually customize your report as far as the formatting, you're going to use the page setup and the report settings. Now you'll want to note that all of your reports are handled independently. So each report has its own formatting. So every report can be different. So we'll just play around with this example report here. If I go to my report settings, click the report settings button, it's going to open up the format report window. You'll have several tabs. Some of the tabs are not used inside of PlanSwift, but first you have your view, or what's visible on your reports, and you kind of have an example report displayed here. If you're going to have a caption that's visible, you'll see that's going to hide and show information. The headers and footers, if you actually want your column headers to show up and any footer information to show up, group footers if you want those visible or not. If you want to actually see the little plus and minus expand buttons, you can turn that information on and off. The filter bar, it's turned off by default, but that would actually show your filter bar from your report. On every page, this is asking you what you want to see on every page. Do you want to see the caption on every page, the headers and footers on every page? You can change those to suit your needs. Under the Behaviors tab, we have the selection, leaving things unchecked by default. So when you print your report, it's going to print everything on your report. If you have process selection, it's only going to report what you select. And expanding groups and details, if you have those checked, what that's going to do, if you have all of your items or sub items, if you have any, if they are collapsed, it's going to expand them before it prints. And then auto width is kind of it's just going to automatically set the column width. Under your formatting, not too much to change here. Leave it set to ultra flat. Not too much to change here, just leave it set to ultra flat. You can flatten your check marks if you want to show your check marks. Under styles, this is where you can come in and start setting your color scheme. You can also set the fonts, and you can change the fonts based on the selected categories as well. You'll see here I've got a content even rows, content odd rows. This is where I set the background color, one being light green and one being white. You can set the color of your filter bar, which is the area at the bottom, that gray. But you can also set the fonts on each one of those. So you see here I have my footer, which is much larger font, and it's bold. So you have control over all of those styles. Preview, you can leave both those options checked. Cards and charts are not supported at this time. That may be something we add in the future. Now your title properties and footnote properties, this is where you can actually add a title to your report. If you were to put, and you can use some property names inside of here. So if you wanted to, for example, pull in the name of the job into this report, the syntax for that would be the open bracket / job. So we're going to look at the job properties and then the property name. So if we did job name and then close that with a square bracket, / job / description. and pull that information in as well. Now, if you have other properties on your job as well, if you've done some other customization, you could pull in a job address or information, however you've got your property set up. If you wanted to actually pull in the name of the report, you would just use name, just like you would in any other property. I'll click OK, so you'll see when I go to print preview, here I have my job name, sample plan demo, and then the description is the demonstration plans, and the report name was takeoff cost. So you can pull that information right into your reports, so it's a pretty handy feature. Now your page setup, it's a little bit different. This is where you're actually going to set what your page size is. So you can set whether you're going to print portrait or print landscape. So if you've got a lot of columns, you may want to print a landscape report. You select your paper size. On your margins, you can set your print margins. And again, these are just specific to the individual report. So every report can be different. So you can set your print margins, header and footer. Now these are a little different than the headers and footers on the report itself. This would actually be a location where you could put, maybe your company heading. You could put your company's address in one section. So this would be the header, left side, upper left corner. My company, whatever your address might be. You can also do images if you wanted to put a background image on your header. You could certainly do that just by going into Fill Effects, and if you select Picture, you could browse through your hard drive and select a company logo perhaps, and you may have to resize that to fit your sheet of paper. But you can actually embed that in there and have your logo print directly on your output report. You can do the same thing with your footer. The only thing you cannot do in the header and footer, at least at this point, is use any formulas as far as PlanSwift formulas pulling property information in. We have not added that into this at this time. But you could set certain predefined functions. If you wanted to actually put a page number at the bottom right corner, you could just put that in there, the number of pages. You could add a date timestamp, date printed, time printed, who printed it, or the computer machine name that printed it. Scaling would just be relative to your printer. If you were adjusting 100%, or if you needed to reduce that to half size or whatever the case may be, that only applies to the report itself. And that is report formatting in a nutshell. It's really pretty straightforward as long as you remember that all of your reports are independent of one another. So if you're building maybe a new report template, maybe you'll set up one and then copy that template and modify that report, just so you're not having to reset everything as far as formatting. But it's pretty straightforward. You can get pretty creative with your reports, get some pretty nice look at. You can get some pretty nice looking report layouts.